This is One Fat Boy, and here are my NBA game predictions for February 17th. Tonight there is 5 games, and I will be going over the spreads and over-unders for each of these games. For the Heat at Charlotte, I'll be going with Miami -4. I think Miami's defense will be able to hold down Charlotte, as Charlotte's kind of really random how they play. They're on or they're off, and Miami's a little bit more consistent overall as a team, even though they're dealing with a few injuries, a lot of day-to-days, but as long as Bam is in, I think that's more consistency on the defense than if Jimmy's playing against Charlotte as he's day-to-day right now. That's just more consistency on offense and more consistency on defense, but overall I think Miami better coach than Charlotte, so they should come with the spread. But overall, this probably wouldn't be a game that I'd bet on for the spread, as Charlotte could get really hot, and with Miami being kind of banged up, I could see them struggling too. But overall, if I were to lean one way, I'd just lean towards Miami. We'll be going under 228.5, as Miami can play defense and Charlotte can go cold. And Miami's not really known for their explosive offense this season, so hence why I just lean towards under 228.5. For Washington at Brooklyn, I will be going Brooklyn -3. As they've won their last 2, I think this trade is working well for them. And I think the Wizards, they're just kind of struggling as a team, so it's kind of hard to bet for them. Also, both are playing on a back-to-back, and I think just Brooklyn being at home is a little bit more of an advantage. You don't have to travel, even though Washington's not traveling that far, but just a little edge towards Brooklyn. So if I had to bet on this game, as this is probably another one of those games where I'd likely not really want to bet the spread, as Brooklyn just got off like 11-game losing streak and Washington's all over the place. I just lean towards Brooklyn winning the game overall, and three points isn't like crazy amount. I will be going over 215.5, as I think both teams can score the ball well. Brooklyn plays more like up and down, so more shots up at the basket, and they can still have a few players can light it up, so hence why I'm leaning over 215.5. For the Mavericks at the Pelicans, I'm going to go with the Dallas -2.5, as anytime you have Luka on the field, I think that's just an advantage towards your team. And also, if Dallas playing one of the better defenses in the league, I think the Pelicans are going to be in for a tough game. Overall, I think Dallas has the tools to really deal with the Pelicans, so Dallas should come out with a win. I will be going under 221.5, as if Dallas does win this game, it's going to be on the back of their defense. And this does come out down to a shootout. I think Luka can outshoot Ingram or get his teammates involved to where Dallas comes out with the win. But I think this will be more of a defensive effort for the Mavericks. For the Sixers at Milwaukee, so Milwaukee tends to show up in these big games in the Eastern Conference when they're playing one of the top tier opponents, so I have to lean towards Milwaukee -6.5, even though my heart says I want to go with Philadelphia. But it's just one of those things where Milwaukee shows up for these games, and Giannis, he plays his best, and it's just going to be one of those games where it should happen where Milwaukee, like Giannis, is going to backpack his whole team, lead the Sixers to the victory. Not the Sixers, the Bucks to a victory, which is what I can see happening. Or there's the other version where Milwaukee just crumbles, they give up like halfway through the fourth quarter if they're down by more than 15, and that'd be due to Embiid getting his team involved and him having a great game. But I think this should be a closer game. But you can pick either spread, as once again, this is probably a game I wouldn't pick the spread on. This is one I'd just bet on props, mostly just on Embiid and Giannis to have good games. I will be going under 223.5, as I think this is one of those games where if the team does win, it's going to be due to their defense, as both teams can clamp down on someone. I think they have both tools to slow down each other's stars, so I think this will be a more defensive-minded game. Hence why I'm going under 223. For the Rockets at the Clippers, I'll go with the Clippers minus 9.5. So Houston played last night in a close game, so I'm just going to go with the Clippers as they're more well-rested, and I think the Clippers want to have a redeem themselves over that loss against the Suns and take out a weaker opponent in Houston, keep themselves in the playoff race. So hence I'll lean towards a Clippers win, and I can see them covering the 9.5 spread. It will be an over 225.5, as I think the Rockets won't be able to slow down the Clippers offense, as there'll be a lot of threes left open for the Clippers. So as long as they knock those down, easy win for the Clippers, them scoring a lot of points, like over 118. And then for Houston, they play more up and down. They'll allow a lot of points. They're still able to get a lot of points too, but I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the Clippers overall for the game. So bet for the Clippers to win in a high-scoring game. Thank you for watching. So next game's not until the 24th due to All-Star break, so I'll try to fill the void with some videos of what I can think of. But as always, thanks for watching.